Oh my god, Caboose. Caboose the dog. Oh my goodness. Moo moo. How are you today, Caboose? Oh, he's just a baby. Oh, I love him. He's just a baby. He's just a little guy. Hey, how's everybody doing? I congrats on fuck. Congrats on escaping Blighttown. Yeah, I totally got out. Hey, don't eat that. I'm totally out. Um, there was a comment on one of my posts on Blue Sky, and I was like, I want to drag this, but it's too mean. But I'm gonna drag it a little. I'm gonna drag it a little. They're like, has anyone noticed getting sick at the same time as your favorite content creator? And I wanted to be like, it's called spring. It's March. It's it's one of the fucking months of the year that people get sick. Like, ugh. So that person might not be from the same hemisphere. Fall is also a month in which people get sick. The transitional months are the sicky months. You know? Nord guy says, I haven't gotten sick in years. Yeah. Well, impregnate your wife and have a little guy pop out and have that little guy want to lie down on the fucking floor of the grocery store. And you're like, bro, get up. And he's like, no, I don't want to. You don't tell me what to do, dada. And you're like, God damn it. You literally can't stop it. Dude, we were having this wonderful nature walk through a park in all this green space and all these trees and people having picnics and shit. And it was a beautiful sunny day. And he was walking ahead of us, having a great time. And then he just went, and I was like, fuck. Fuck. He picked that up like last week. And it's done incubating. And it's going to attack us. And what's interesting, the usual path is that kid gets sick, then mom gets sick, then dad gets sick. But this time went straight for dad. Went straight from the. Oh my fucking god. I feel so stupid. I'm discording this to Paige. I'm discording this to Paige. Because Emo Red says the second you got sick while still recovering from surgery, it was clear you are capital F fucked. That's why I got so much sicker than Paige. Because Paige has been feeling under the weather, right? But like she's not like or whatever. It's like, oh yeah, I had sutures in my gums when the child was coughing directly into my mouth. That explains everything. Damn. This is why you should keep all your holes plugged up 24/7. I'm gonna be nice. You learn, Vobent. You learned that piece of advice from your mom. Hey, all right. I'm a one-man hype show over here. So I gotta, go for it. Your mom put you up for adoption? Oh. Fuck. Mm. 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 I guess you didn't learn it from her. Sorry. Oh. All right. So. Oh, that's just unlucky. What's up with y'all? That's cool. You guys want to hear my lungs wheeze? Yeah. Oh, yeah. So, brother, why are you even here? You should be in bed. Because I want to. Also, I took like 4 days off. Somebody asked me if I was going to be like talking about the One Piece season 2. And I was like, he's like, but he could be sick. He might not have seen it. Every single night, I'm like, hey, Paige, after the baby goes to sleep, we should watch One Piece. And every single night, I go, oh, bedtime. Nim, 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 nim. Oh. You know what I'm saying? I actually just ate a nice piping hot bowl of chili that Paige made. It was very good. Oh, that's good. Though I do have... How's my dog creature? Excellent. Excellent dog. Yes. Very friendly guy. Yes. Very excellent guy. Very helpful. Snuggly at night. Warm. Very good guy. Love him. You good, Caboose? Yeah, you good boy? Yeah, you good boy? Oh, yeah, I love you. I love him. He's a good guy. Though, to ask about, like, what am I doing here? So I'll answer a quick question. That question. So, you know when you wake up and you've been sick for 4 or 5 days, right? And you wake up and you're not in pain. And it's the first day that you've woken up not in pain. Like that upper respiratory shit doesn't hurt. Right? And then you do a snort and clear your entire sinus. And you're like, oh, fuck, that's disgusting. And then you go spit it out. And then you cough and you clear out your entire upper respiratory. And you spit it out. And you're like, I'm actually clear. Like I've turned back into a person. Right? Now that doesn't last within a couple of hours. It fills back up here or there. But like that's to me when I wake up and I do that, that's like, okay, I'm on the out. I'm on my way out of it. I've passed the hump. And so like I'm coughing but it doesn't hurt. Right? And I'm like stuffed up, but my brain doesn't hurt either. I'm just kind of sleepy and a little slow. You know. You know what I'm talking about. And let's thank some people. So we're going to play a couple backlog games. Paige doesn't want me to do a long stream today because she will get very mad at me if I push myself to weakness. Also, of course, talking is the single most exhausting thing that I could be doing right now. Because projecting my voice to my normal speaking voice is quite difficult. So we'll see. I don't even know what my non-projected voice sounds like anymore. Isn't that crazy? So anybody who's met me in person knows that I have a certain timbre to my voice where I'm kind of always upper respiratory projecting. And I legitimately don't know how to speak without it anymore because I've been doing it for so long. And the reason why that is because I used to be a terminal mumbler. I used to be like, it's cool, right? Terrible mumbler. God awful, the worst. Nobody could hear me at all. Drove everybody crazy. So I started focusing on like making my like voice clearer. And then I got really good at it. And then I just did that forever. And now I don't know how to talk without projecting. Do I have to start using radio voice in real life so people can hear me? So it's not radio voice. It's literally pushing more air through your voice box. When you speak, if you're projecting, you can feel a very, very soft vibration from your collarbone up. Like if I do, yeah. See, even when I tried to mumble whisper, I could still feel the projection. I literally don't know how to do it. Works great for this shit though. Yeah. Yeah. I wanted to do the Resident Evil 9 insane stuff, but I don't think we'll have to delay that a week or two because I'm not good for it right now. My reflexes right now, bad. Not good. I sound sick as hell. It's mainly the nasalness. I got a lot of goo up in this part, in the top of my sinus. Oh. Let's thank some people. Blast Yo Boots kicked in $5. Thanks, Blast. Thanks for lifting my spirits during a difficult time. You're welcome. Why not do a comfy stream with Pocopia? We might do that tomorrow, yeah. Might do that tomorrow. Baby's down. Yeah, I knew it. I knew I tired that little guy out. Yeah, take that. He was starting to get real grumpy and cuddly, and you know he's not long for this world. You know he's cooked. We had a almost meltdown at the dinner table just now because he offered me a blueberry, and I said no thank you. And he started to, like, you know, like the lips started to go and his eyes started to well up in tears. And he was like, no, don't say it. Oh, shit. He said, no, don't say that to me. And I was like, what's wrong, buddy? He's like, no, dad, don't say no thank you. It makes me feel sad. And then we had to talk about why he felt sad and how no thank you doesn't mean we don't like him and that we appreciate the blueberry. And then he was fine. But I have a very sweet boy. And it's so interesting. It's so interesting seeing, like, me and Paige talk to our child, and he's like, oh, I don't like this because it makes me feel bad, or, oh, this makes me feel happy, and stuff like that. And I think back to, like, parents that I knew, like boomer parents that I knew when I was a millennial child. And, like, Dad, this makes me really sad. What are you, a homo? Like, all right. Time to never tell him an emotion again. Like, my dad, I love him to bits, but he had a very boomer view of parenting. And so, and it was very simple. And it was like, no, that's not my dad, Pocket Bear Illustrator. I'm about to complain about my dad. I'm talking about my friend Eric's dad. No, my dad's boomer form of parenting was, it worked for me. This is my son. Therefore, it will work for him. So my dad's very hands-on. He's very like just show it to me and I'll deal with it. Kind of very straightforward guy. And so I had like a terrifying fear of lobsters. Don't really know where that came from, but I have a terrifying fear of lobsters. And him and his buddies went out fishing and they caught something by accident. And so he brought it home and he was like, hey, Pat, come out to the driveway. And I walked into the driveway, and our driveway had it was one of those driveways where it's like the side of the house. And so like behind me was like the fence to our backyard and then the wall of the house. And he's like, check this out. I got this for you. And he tossed down onto the driveway at my feet a neon blue, one-armed, like, crawfish that started crawling towards me. And I completely lost my fucking shit. Like, shrill little girl scream. I ended up climbing backwards over the fence and falling into the yard and running inside. And it made the fear of lobsters way, way worse. And when I was like, Dad, why did you do that? He's like, oh, I thought you would play with it and then you would see that it's not scary. No, my dad wasn't laughing. He was like super confused why I was scared in the first place. And the problem is that he didn't understand that I was actually afraid of it in the first place, because my dad's the kind of guy who isn't actually afraid of anything. So he's like trying to understand why a child would be afraid of something for no reason, and he just can't because he's too tough. Right? So he totally botched it. If you'll excuse me, I gotta go check on my Poochie dog. I don't know what he's doing out in the other side of the office. Excuse me. I'm back. Somebody needed to go for a big pee-pee outside. It was me. It was me. Yeah, anyway, so yeah. Will you eventually become the dad that fears nothing and is super tough? No. Were old dads built different? My dad is built different. My grandfather died when he was like beginning high school, and he had to quit high school and go get a job and work in a factory and like hustle pool to like make ends meet for his mom. So like my dad's as blue collar as it gets. Right? Like did plumbing, did electrical work, did construction, did contracting, worked in a factory, built generators, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. As blue collar as it gets. Caboose, you're not supposed to be up there. Caboose. And yeah, he was a union guy. So, you know. You're not supposed to be up there. But I'll trade you. All right. Okay. All right. Caboose. Do you want to get in the chair? You want to get in the chair? Oh. All right. So, Pocket Bear Illustrator says, here's a hot take. I think people with unresolved or unmanaged trauma should not have children. Pocket Bear Illustrator, that is not the take that you think it is. You are saying that humanity should die out in 2 generations. That is essentially a genocide over 60 years. So you didn't actually qualify that in any way. You said unresolved or unmanaged trauma. So any unresolved or unmanaged trauma. Any kind. That's crazy. That's insane. I have unresolved trauma. Are you coming into my show to tell me I shouldn't have had a child? That's not really appropriate. It doesn't really matter if you put hot take in front of it. I don't think he's saying that. So here's the thing. I don't think that's what he meant, but that is what he said. Like that's like if I thought that's what he meant, I'd be like offended. Instead, I'm wagging my finger and being like, "Oh, you fucked up." You mean that people should go to therapy before having children? All right, so Pocket Bear Illustrator thinks only middle class and rich people should be allowed to have children. I can do this all day. I can do this all day. You are not actually considering what you're actually saying. You're not engaging with the topic on a real basis. What you're doing is that you're focusing on a singular issue outside of any context. I'm going to assume you don't have any kids or plan on having any kids. Therefore, you have likely given no thought to this at all. Um, um, Also, on like a really blunt thing, I'm gonna assume you don't have kids. I think it's a fair assumption. Um, Somebody without kids rolling their eyes at uh, people who do have children, going, "Ugh, those people should." But it's fucking gross. Like yeah, it's not good. Were I ever in debate club? No. I briefly considered it, but debate is not a real thing. It is a masturbation session about the perceived superiority of Greek logic that fails to account for the ways that people actually live and exist in the real world. Like one of the things that's like debate is a philosophical practice exercise for rhetoric. It has nothing to do with actually determining like the correct course of action. It's inherently masturbatory. Because it's not about reaching consensus, and it's not about discovering the best solution. It's about how to win an argument with a bunch of made up rules that no one will ever adhere to in the real world. By the way, Pocket Bear, I'm not mad at you at all. I think you put your foot in your mouth, but like I get it. Like one of the things that it makes me like super annoyed, where you'll see like a debate bro be like, that's an appeal to emotion. It's like normal people have emotions. The idea that we would be talking about something that matters and you don't have emotions about it makes you come off like a freak. And like you are not convincing anyone of anything if you appear to be a non-human emotionless freak. Oh, don't worry about it, Pocket Bear. So Vexilus says, I feel logic should win the day over emotion. Yes. However, logic is informed by emotion, because the logic that you are using in any given scenario is often, if not always, supported underneath by presuppositions based on your long history of emotional life before you got there. So, for example, I know somebody who goes crazy about thieves. Like if he had, like thievery is like his most visceral crime reaction, right? right? And why is that? Oh, because they had a bunch of stuff stolen from them. So they have a really intense, like, chest palpating reaction. And even if they go through that argument from a completely logical perspective and build up all of their points, the core of that start is the emotional reaction to being stolen from. So one of the other ones says the point of classifying logical fallacies is not to write off emotions wholesale. It's just to help recognize when an argument doesn't have any factual basis. So a really good example, probably the best example, is ad hominem. Ad hominem is the most common, the most used, the most effective, and the most like no debate technique possible, which is this guy's a piece of shit. I don't want to listen to what he has to say. And in a debate context, that is a perfect example of what is not okay to do because it doesn't address the core of their points. But in the real world, if you want to convince anyone of anything, you need to have it be said by somebody who's not a complete piece of shit. Because you need people to actually get over that, which they won't. So they'll open up their ears. The obvious best way to win an argument is to depict the opponent as the soy Wojak and yourself as the Chad. That's true. I have depicted you as the soy Wojak by placing you in this box of which you cannot escape. Rambler Bishop says, I can see why Pat thinks this is why debate is masturbatory. So debate can be useful to learn techniques in general rhetoric. However, no one in reality is going to adhere to the rules of debate. It is the equivalent of boxing. And learning how to box and becoming the world champion boxer and being like, I'm the greatest fighter in the world. No kicks, though. No kicks, though. And then someone shows up to your match and shoots you with a gun. And you're like, no, that's against the rules, I say, as my life bleeds from my open wounds. Anyway, debate's not particularly useful. It's one of those things, is like, you know how you all know debate isn't useful? No one's ever changed your mind based on a debate. And part of that is because if you have a strongly held belief and you're challenged on that belief from a point of strength, you will actually usually double down on that belief unless you're a very, very small minority of people. Also, debate bros don't convince anyone of anything. And the reason why they don't is because they're having a version of the conversation they practiced in the mirror for an hour before they ran out and talked to you. Which is not a human way to have a discussion. Like, you guys are more willing to believe anything I have to say because I have this cute dog with me than anything about the content of my speech. Because he's very cute. He's very sweet. And I love him. Anyway, that's, yeah, I don't know why somebody asked that. But good question. Like, I'm the small minority, but God, does it drive me crazy that proving someone wrong just makes them shut down? Oh yeah, it's annoying. Like, there's so many times in my life that somebody will be going on and on and on about something, and they'll be like, yeah, the first thing you said in this discussion didn't happen. Yeah, but the other stuff. Yeah, but the start of it didn't happen. That's not a thing that happened. They didn't say that. That didn't happen. That country didn't do that. Dogs can look up. Like, fucking whatever. And they go, well, anyway. I'm like, no. Not, well, anyway. Makes you think. No, it doesn't. Makes me sleep. Makes me sleep. All right. How do you know if you beat a white person in an argument? Fair enough. Oh, I thought you were going to say they call the cops. But I would say I've heard the phrase "will agree to disagree," but that's definitely not owned by whites. Anybody can say that. Then again, I'm also a whites, so there's a different set of responses. I can see why you would think that. Wow, that's so valid. Ooh, it's valid in here. It's my opinion. Oh, I love that one. I don't care. I don't care about your opinion. That's it's my opinion always comes from people who started the conversation. I don't walk around telling people my opinion about shit out of nowhere. Run into a guy on the street. Hey, good morning. And he goes, hey. And then he waves at my little guy and he waves at the wife. Oh, see ya. Ooh. Oh, cute dog. Yeah. Right. It's like sitting in a waiting room in a hospital, and like a news comes on the little TV, and the guy next to you goes, "Oh man, everything's about gender now." I'm like, you have to let me out. I want out. I don't know you. You clearly just want to, like, you're desperate for approval. You can't get approval from anyone in your family or your personal life. So you've taken to cold calling approval from strangers. And when you don't get it from me, you're going to fucking freak out. Everyone's lost their fucking minds. This internet is bad for you. I like to think that I'm responsibly engaging with the internet and that I'm not creating a intentionally parasocial or destructive form of entertainment. But oh man, it's so fucking bad for you. Holy shit. Everyone's so fucking crazy. Oh. Oh, it's so nuts. Hey, Collateral Damage. Oh my god. I'm fucked. This show sucks. Collateral Damage sub. Thanks, Collateral Damage. Blastio Boots kicked in $5. Thanks for lifting my spirits in a difficult time. No problem, man. Replete J sub. Thank you. Blue Wizard subbed. Hey, Pat, gonna have a ice storm tomorrow if the weathermen are right. Can't wait. Ain't nothing gonna deal with. I had the best ice storm. Hey, Fuggins, I see you're here. And I think Baltic won. We had the best ice storm. Ain't nothing beating that for a while. Yeah, the 97, 98 ice storm, yeah. Oh, man, that motherfucker. Holy shit. Bananas. Fucking crazy. Zero Arturia sub, thanks, man. Mango Shroomy sub says, glad you're feeling better. Super excited for the backlog today. Thank you. Rune God kicked in a $5. Thanks, Rune. I got sick at the end of 24 doing major surgery stuff, and I was a bedridden zombie for about a week, so this tracks. So, like, honestly, I would have loved to just sleep the past, 5 days, but I'm a dad now, so I have a responsibility to wife and baby to, not be a corpse. Can't just leave the wife to watch the kid for, fucking 4 full days in a row. That's insane. That's a lot of stress. Fuckins, you met our child. How could you possibly forget we're parents? You met him. He's adorable. You met him twice. Dai Gao Grunge says weed. Yeah, he was super high. I was like, come meet our baby. And he came to the hotel we were staying at, and he was just blazing it like you wouldn't believe. And I was like, oh. Nero Ame sub Soda Del Mata. Thank you. Appreciate it. Hey, Razgug says the worst problem I said was, I heard Pat say was Neo starts with Neo 3. No, it doesn't. It starts with 2, the best Souls game of all time. That is a wildly specifically bad take. Like me saying it starts with Neo 3 and your response is no, dumbass, it starts with 2. Crazy. Insane. Like all-timer bad take. But also, if you want to fucking get mad at me, I'm going to just throw Mr. Madden under the bus as the guy who said Castlevania starts with Symphony of the Night. The angriest I have ever gotten at one of his takes. Absolutely criminal. Unbelievable. What does Castlevania start with? It starts with Castlevania. Nita Furrin kicked in a sub, says 61. That's 6 away from 6-7, right? No, he said that. No, he said that shit. No, that's real. He said that many times. That was on the Friendcast, but still, it's real. Mothman Kisser kicked in the $5. Thank you. Appreciate it. Oh, man. We're going to do one backlog game. I went to a Ren fair in the middle of the desert on a Saturday, and there was an extreme heat warning, and I went anyways. I got fucking sunburned, and I'm just here to say, fuck the desert and the state of Arizona. That is all. I don't understand Arizona. I don't understand why people live there at all. What does it have that, like, what's its natural resource that kept people to live there? Leonard, did you just say Las Vegas? Are you fucking for real? Are you serious? That's wild. See, the best thing that I can do to paint chat as the Soy Wojak and me as the Chad is, you see how I've put you all in this little box and you're stuck there? You can't get out of there, and you all come off as like one person, which means you're all in there with Leonard Church now. Las Vegas, Arizona. It's all melding into one person. Richard Johnson says there's a lot of cute girls in cute witch outfits the one time I went to a Ren fair. Sounds like a good reason to go to a Ren fair. Your jobs make chat look like clowns? Hell yeah. Bro, I would legitimately stream Marathon again if OBS didn't shit itself. Like, speaking of Leonard Church, I would. I'd stream Marathon again if OBS didn't go completely nuts when you try and stream it. I'm not doing display capture, man. Fuck that. Fuck that. Anyway. Arizona bad. That is all. Kitso Tabru sub says, yeah, video games. Yeah. Yeah. Is display capture what Wooly says doxes you on Steam? Yeah. Yeah, it is. He's like, I can't believe Steam doxes you. And every time that comes up, I go, only if you're using display capture like a Neanderthal. And then he just goes, How's it dox you? Okay, so when you're using game capture only captures the program. So say you're using game capture on OBS, right? And you're playing Marathon. And if you use game capture, it only displays, it grabs a hold of Marathon and grabs a hold of the display buffer from the program and spits it out. So Steam's interface doesn't show up, nothing on your desktop shows up, just Marathon, right? If you use window capture, it can show Steam. And if you use just display capture, it'll show everything on the fucking desktop that is on that screen. So like right now on this desktop, I have a folder called Page, which is shortcuts for Page. I have an unused desktop shortcut. I have a Slay the Spire and 2xKO shortcut. And I have a Core Temp and a Vortex shortcut. And it's a picture of a bird, right? So if I was playing Marathon on display capture and the fucking game crashed, it would show it would show the picture of a bird and my shortcuts. And sometimes the shortcuts or things on your desktop would say like bank info or like creepy pornography or whatever the fuck. And you'd be it's fucking stupid. Don't use display capture. It's stupid. It's dumb as fuck. Dollar Shave Club, a baby seal kicked in $5. Thank you. Hey, glad to see you're doing better, dude. At least a bit. You're one of 2 redheads I'm watching on screens at this moment, and the guy hosting the Oscars is looking much worse than you are. Oh, thank you. Super chat coming in from Owen on the River. Thank you, my friend. Pat playing Kingdom Come Deliverance for the first time. Was running in the rain in the woods at night and fell. Almost broke both of Henry's legs and bled to death. Yes. That is the Kingdom Come Deliverance experience. Yes. We got Kane Highwind kicking in a sub, saying Destiny 2 has lost 91% of its players since Edge of Fate, 97% from Final Shape. That is all. Hope you're feeling better, Pat. I think the current population of Destiny 2 is like a couple thousand people a day, and I don't usually like to go into the Steam DB, like dead game nonsense. But it's fucking bad. That game is essentially over. It's 9K. Yeah. Yeah. 9K for a game the size of Destiny is, you're going to run into like matchmaking problems right away. You know what I'm saying? If Marathon fails, Bungie's cooked. Marathon's apparently doing relatively well. I would be streaming it if it performed better. I played it over here one night without streaming it, and it ran pretty well. So that actually explains it. It's OBS. It just fucking hates OBS. And I don't think that's going to get fixed because Destiny 2 also hates OBS. Played any more Arc Raiders? No, I haven't played nothing. The past 4 days, I've played an hour of Xenoblade Chronicles X. I've mainly been sleeping and being tired. Hi, my name's Gage. Kicked in a sub. Cheers for another month, fellow Ginger Man. Thank you. Die Gao Grunge sub says, hey Pat, hope you fail better and don't die. I will never die. Fucking sub say, hey Pat, you're short. I love you. Thanks, bud. Vobin gifted a sub. Thank you, buddy. Baphomet Seinfeld kicked in a sub. Picked up Marathon because you were generally positive about it on the pod, and now I'm addicted. Fuck you. Here's a couple of dollars. Man, that to me doing that slot battle was so interesting because there's a Reddit thread that came out about it, in which there were a couple of people in there describing how unfair I was to the game because I have a grudge against Bungie. And I just went in there to be like, this is absolute proof that you did not watch the stream at all. And people got so mad that it got locked. And then somebody started hassling me on Blue Sky saying I had gotten the mods to lock it. It's like, I don't fucking have anything to do with moderating that fucking subreddit. Ever. And like, I'm getting shit on for like being like way more fair than most people would be. I'm so good at putting my grudges aside and then picking the grudges back up. Like, okay, grudge here. Reasonable response. Grudge back. No, I'm not. Yeah, I am. I'm super good at it. Name one time, Rambler Bishop. You can't. Because the stream delay means you couldn't have responded fast enough. Got it. Smash players? No, that's ongoing, man. You talking about shit about people from my past years ago? But there's no reason to re-examine that. If I ran into a school bully from 20 years ago I can absolutely put aside my violent hatred, have a nice chat, and be like, oh, they've really turned it around. Good for them. And then remember that they were an evil teenager and still pray for their downfall. I would be like, oh, wow, they totally turned it around and they seem like a nice person right now. They have not paid out their penance for their former evil. CVP says, Pat, his brain wasn't done cooking. I can't even take that seriously. See, if I was an adult and they were a teenager, yeah, we'd have thing. But the people I describe as being a problem for me in my teenage life were of the same age. Therefore, our actions are equivalent. Therefore, who gives a fuck? To be fair, I don't know if they did their penance off screen. Maybe they did, and that's why they're chill now. That's possible. If that's the case, good for them. Don't care. I somehow made it through most of my life without having anybody swear revenge on me. Most of it. Because I wasn't a psycho. Maybe one day they'll make a documentary about bullying me and demand your forgiveness. That I know of, no, I treated people very well. Particularly through my schooling era. I was overtly kind. Even when it was against people who were quite cruel to me. Because I was obsessed with the idea that if I just showed them that I was better, that they would turn it around. And then I graduated. And none of them turned it around at all. Also, I should mention to you guys, when I bring this stuff up, and you guys like, you don't know what they were. I was like almost murdered a couple times as a result of school bullying. Like you don't have to be an adult to know not to run people over with your car. Like, or set you on fire, or tase you with a stun gun, or stab you. Like, maybe they were only a 16-year-old little baby. They didn't know that these were bad things to do. They just didn't know. How could they have known? In the second to last year of high school, that lighting kids on fire in class was unacceptable behavior. How could... Like, lose me with that. Come on. Toxic peacemaking is so much... It's the worst. Everything about the school system and everything about you gotta be better is a front to empower bad people to continue to act badly so that the system doesn't have to actually take accountability for allowing that behavior to go on. Kids who fight back also get detention. This is a way for school staff to diffuse the responsibility of who actually started a fight, or take accountability for the circumstances they've created that allow for these things to go on. Also, like, everybody getting in trouble for a fight also has like a very negative side effect of, if someone starts a fight with you and you know you're going to get as much detention no matter what, there's no reason for you not to fight back as violently as possible, because you have already been punished by being a victim. Kaiser Mario says, Pat, I seldom get excited over new games anymore. Is the industry shit now, or am I too jaded? Well, it depends what's happening. If you're looking at a new game and you go, I bet that'll suck, that's jaded. If there's games that are showing up that you're just not excited about, that's the industry suck. Or you could just be getting older. Di Galgrunge says sometimes bullies are getting beat up, getting abused at home, but that doesn't matter if you're the one being bullied. Do you want a real hot take? You want a really hot take? I'll give you a hot fucking take. If I found out that my worst school bully was getting his ass kicked by his dad, I'd be like, good, sick. I'm glad somebody was beating him. He deserved it. Fuck him. I hope he still beats him as an old man. Why should I give a fuck? Like, oh, boo-hoo, my dad beat me up. Now I take it out on younger kids at school. Okay, well, as soon as you did that, you have retroactively become deserving of all of those beatdowns. Also, I don't mean to break your heart on this. The popular conception that people who Zero Life King says, Pat, you're a psych major, you know what generational trauma is. Let me continue, Zero Life King. The popular conception that people who bully at school are lacking in confidence or victims of abuse in their home scenario is fiction. That's not real. The vast majority of school bullies are people who are confident and happy. And they don't go on to regret their actions in the future. A huge proportion of them become nurses, real estate agents, and cops. I would say real estate agent is like the actual, like, biggest red flag, honestly. Every real estate agent I ever met in my life is a piece of fucking shit. Crazy psycho. It's a fake job. It is a fake job. Matt Fake kicked in a sub. Thank you. Hope you and the fam are doing great. Been going through the RE9 playthrough. Your incredibly deep knowledge of the series is impressive. Thank you. I've wasted huge amounts of my life doing it, but thank you. Quick, Pat, quote the anti-Donna video. Oh, there's a bunch. But hey, how about you stop being a cunt? It's my favorite anti-Donna joke. It's so perfect. It works better with an Australian accent. It works much better with an Australian accent. Ugh. Stiggs kicked in a sub. Thank you. Appreciate it. KGB343 sub says, having grudges is awesome. Every few months you go, man, fuck that guy. And then you go back to whatever you were doing before. So, like, there's this idea of, like, forgiveness is for you and it's not for the other person. And that's true. Because forgiveness is letting go of, like, the dark resentment in your heart that keeps you up at night. Like, the forgiveness that is for you is forgetting that the person exists. Not forgetting what they've done or who they are, but literally being like, I don't remember who that is. Not in terms of, oh no, what you did was fine. Ridiculous. One of the other ones says, I'm conflicted because I know you're right, but I've personally met people who acted shitty as a result of a shitty upbringing. And I didn't realize until years how privileged I was to have a normal childhood. So it's a lot of things. Nothing is as simple as one factor, right? Nothing is ever as simple as one defining moment. Okay, sometimes it is. Sometimes people can be changed by one defining moment, and that's unfortunate. Or fortunate, depending. Your upbringing matters. Your temperament matters. So if you have kids, one of the first things you discover is that every child has a different temperament, and that's their innate nature as a small child, and you get what you get. Some kids run around and scream all the time. Some kids are stubborn. Some kids are sassy. Some kids are sweet and kind. So, you know, like, they're all within a range. Some kids bite, some kids climb, some kids run, some kids spit. Those are the four things. Your child will do one or two of the four things. They will bite or spit or climb or run. And that's just down to their inherent nature, right? My kid climbs and runs. That's his deal. He wants to run. That's his favorite. He also loves to climb, right? That's your inherent nature. It's your parents' job to meld that inherent nature towards something that is what's called social desirability. Basically, you want your kid to be the kid that the other parents see come to the play place and go, hey, it's the Boivin family. Oh, their child is so nice, right? You don't want your child to be the one when you walk into the play place, they go, oh, it's that fucking kid. Should we leave? We should leave. Right? And this continues into adolescence. And the problem is that your child's out of your purview for a lot of the time. So it's up to you to teach them that, like, certain behaviors are okay, certain behaviors are not. But more than that is to create a scenario in which they trust you. So if your child doesn't know what to do, they can come to you for advice and you can steer them on the path to a good outcome. So my particular bully, his dad was one of the richest guys in town. Of course he was. And I met his dad, and he was a complete alpha piece of fucking macho shit. So, unsurprising, his son learned that dominance through violence or peer pressure or whatever was a greater value than kindness. Now, does that mean that he's not responsible for his actions? Of course not, because lots of people grow up with dog shit parents and their nature overcomes it. I'm sure all of you have met people and then met their mom and dad and you're like, wow, I do not know how you didn't turn into that. right? And you're like, so part of that is their nature. There's the three parts. There's your upbringing, there's your nature, and then there's your personal willingness. Two of those are the purview of any particular person at any particular time. You can't change your upbringing. That one's out of your control. The other two, though, you can work on. So no, but they were just a little baby. They didn't know any better. It's like, come on. I remember the bullying in my school lightened up as a result of American school shootings, because the idea that somebody in your class could go crazy and hurt you entered into these kids' minds for the first time. And I don't even live in the States. So, like, but the idea that, like, you know, oh, this other kid that we bully all the time, he could come to the school and hit me with a baseball bat. I never even considered. Like, really? Come on. There wasn't much active bullying in my high school. It was just the guys on the basketball team stealing each other's girlfriends. Yeah, that's pretty odd. I mean, that's fine. They got all dunk baskets. Order of Mystery kicked in a sub. Thanks, Order of Mystery. Heard you're full of mucus. Hope the mucus is exercised ASAP. Apropos of nothing, if you ever want to know... Oh, shit. Apropos of nothing, if you ever want a reminder of how good Bungie games used to be, I highly recommend the Halo CE's Rebalance mod by Ruby. Great mod and makes the games better. Thanks for all the guffaws and hearty chuckles. So, why would I download a mod to find out how good Bungie games used to be by making them better? Isn't that kind of defeating the purpose? Isn't that kind of gilding the lily a little bit? Also, I've played Halo 1 and Halo 2 and Halo 3. Yeah, those games are really good. And Reach. Yeah, I played all of them. They're really good. Halo 2 has an absolutely astonishing fucking dog shit ending. Fucking crazy shit. Shit ending. One of the worst ever. Oh my God. Fucking terrible. Are there any Halo clones? I can't remember any. No, not really. A lot of games became de facto Halo clones by stealing Halo's biggest mechanical change, which was regenerating health, right? Regenerating shields. Then they became much worse Halo clones by stealing its second feature, which is 2 weapons maximum. So by this metric, BioShock Infinite is a Halo clone. It's a really bad Halo clone. It also was too late. Like, BioShock 1 came out around the time that Halo 3 came out. There was no reason to do that. Absolutely no reason to do that. Lich Kind kicked in a sub. Just downloaded and bought Marathon, and after it installed, Destiny 2 started auto-downloading. That's really funny. That's really funny. Dragoon says, the whole point of the 2-weapon limit was so that you'd constantly be picking up new weapons to use. That's why Covenant weapons can't reload. You're completely right. And that's why it's very clear that in BioShock Infinite, they didn't understand why that's the case, because there's a weapon upgrade system in that game. So what happens? I upgraded the sniper rifle. Oh, cool. I'm not going to see a sniper rifle for three fucking hours. Good thing I wasted my upgrade. Nonsense. Stupid. Oh. Destiny 2 started auto-downloading is really funny. That's really funny. That's the funniest thing ever. All right. I see that Microsoft is putting Copilot on the Series X a week after they said no AI slop. It's actually 3 weeks after they said no AI slop. So here's what's going to happen. Every Xbox Series game is going to run marginally worse because it's going to be running Copilot in the background. And if you ask it any question about any game that isn't the most popular game of all time, it's going to get it wrong. And if you ask it any question about the most popular game you're playing ever, why did you need to ask that? You could get that in a 1 second Google search. So here's the thing that's like particularly of note for like Copilot for gaming is that people who don't care about AI stuff or whatever, they're going to ask it. They'll use it right up until it gets something wrong, and then they're never going to use it again. They're going to be like, hey, what's the point of no return on this RPG? And it's going to spit out like a lie, and then they're going to miss it, and they're going to be like, well, I can't use that. Worthless. AI is just a validation machine designed to suck you off. Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. Hey, I'll be right back. I got to pee. And then we'll actually play again.